Hi, I'm David Gordon. I want to talk today about making updates to your WordPress site. Your WordPress site is composed of three main types of software: the WordPress core, the theme, and plugins. The core is the basic WordPress software, the theme dictates the look and feel of your site, and the plugins add extra functionality. They all need to be kept up to date so that the site works properly together, and it's also one of the most important ways to protect your site from hackers, so it's an important security concern. Because it's a good idea to make a backup of your site before you do the update, I'm going to talk about backups too. Most of the time, I'd like to say 99% of the time, you do your updates and everything's fine, it's no big deal. But once in a while, some glitch occurs, and it could be something small, like something doesn't quite look right, or it could be something big, like your site doesn't load anymore. So if that were to happen, it's good to have a backup. Then you could just restore the backup and wait until a convenient time when you or your web developer can look at it, troubleshoot, and solve the problem. All right, so let's get started. We'll turn to my computer. Okay, so the way we know that there are updates available is this little number up here on the top black bar, and it's also right here. The number 9 means there are 9 updates available. And before we go to the update page, we can get there by clicking either of these links. I want to look at making a backup. There are a number of backup plugins, but my favorite one, and it's free, is called UpdraftPlus. So once you install UpdraftPlus, you go to Settings and then go to the UpdraftPlus link here. Now there are some settings that you will want to look at once you set it up. You can do automatic backups and choose when you want to do them, or you can just have it set as manual, and you can keep more than 2 backups. So let's say 12 backups of the files and the database. Another thing you want to check is that you have all these all these boxes checked, so it'll back up all the different places. And you can also send it to somewhere like Dropbox, and the advantage of doing that is that if for some reason your hosting account should disappear, then you would have a backup of your website somewhere else. So that's not very likely to happen, but just in case. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is get a backup of the site. So I'm going to go to current status and then backup now. And it asks me if I want to include the database, which I do, and I want to include the files. And if I did have it set up so that it would go to a remote storage like Dropbox, it would give me the option to send it there. I click backup now and it starts doing a backup. So I'm going to wait until this backup is finished before I do the updates, and that's so that if in case something goes wrong, I can restore it. The way to check if it's finished is you go to here and it shows that my last update was on May 23rd, which isn't today. You can rescan the local folder for new backups, and there it is. My backup is already ready from June 7th. So now that that's done, I'm going to just go to the update page. And you can see that there are the 3 parts of the update of the WordPress site that I was referring to. Here's the WordPress core, here are the plugins, and here are the themes. So there are 3 different processes here, and we'll just do, you have to do one at a time. The first thing I'm going to do is update the WordPress core. So I just click Update Now. And it brings me to a page that introduces the new version of WordPress. So I'm just going to go back to the update page. Next thing I'm going to do is update the plugins. To do that, I just click Select All all the boxes are checked, and then I just click Update Plugins. And again, I have to wait. This can take a few minutes. It really depends on how fast your server is. So those are all done. And now I'm going to go back and update all my themes. Select all, click Update Themes, and just wait for it to finish up. Now that the updates are complete, the next step is to check your site and make sure there were no glitches. So you would go to your home page and make sure that looks the way it always looked and everything's working properly. Maybe go to some of your other pages, and most importantly, go to your contact page, and if you have a shop, you want to go to your shop page, make sure those are working. And what I always do is I send myself a test email. Contact form is one of the most important things, so I always send myself a test email just to make sure it's still working.